We also have with us Dr. D.K.Hari, co-founder of BharathGyan. Dr. D.K.Hari, when we talk about something like Mahakumbh, but I want to talk about this in a broader perspective. In India's spirituality in general, we've seen that it has attracted a lot of people in the past as well. We've seen that recently Chris Martin and Dakota Johnson was here. We have seen Steve Jobs' wife is also currently at Mahakumbh. We have, other than global celebrities, we are also keeping on our live screen. You can see Gautam Adani is there. But when we talk about global celebrities in general and people, when we're talking of foreign devotees, there have been major names that have been associated, and they came to India for this spiritual awakening and journey. We have talked about when we talk about Beatles, they also came to India for that. We talk about Madonna, and there's also Sting, and there's also Steve Jobs, and there's Mike Jagger and Gwen Paltrow. So many people have come to India for this spiritual journey, and Mahakumbh is a testimony to that as well, that people come to Mahakumbh from all over the world for this peace and this confluence of faith and harmony. So what's your take on that?
Good point, Ria. First of all, thank you for having us. And namaste to our fellow panelists and to all the viewers, audience. Thank you. And each civilization and many countries have their different brands. They're unique for their own way of branding. Bharat, that is India, one of its special brandings is spiritualism, being spiritual. No other country, no other civilization can even come near claiming that spirituality itself is a brand of the civilization. When we talk about branding, global branding today and different aspects, here we have had spirituality as a brand of this land, the civilization, not just for 10, 20 years or few decades or few centuries, but actually a few millennia and more. That is the beauty of it. And fundamentally, what are we doing when we say being spiritual? While everything in this world, you see also external with your eye, there is something called the inward eye, where we look within. This looking within we can do wherever we are, whether we are in US or England or Europe or Japan, you can do it wherever you are. But at the same time, when you do it at a particular place, it's that much more refreshing, enriching, and the Anubhava experience is that far better. And when it's all done collectively by lakhs and crores of people, when the astral alignments also happen, your inward lookingness is so beautiful. Because we got English poets like Wordsworth, etc., speaking about the inward eye a couple of centuries ago, repeatedly. But if you look at in Bharat, it's always we speak about doing things together. Sange Shakti Kali Yuge. So you look at things and do things collectively in congregation. So when you look at the idea of senses, also the idea of Indra, because we mentioned about the drop of Amrit, so Indra is intrinsically part of it. We all have a 5 senses that are our Indriya. But collectively, when lakhs and crores of people come together to a place and start dhyana, because the word meditation in the English language has got its limitations for the language purpose, but when you say dhyana, it's more inward looking, and each of us do it collectively. That becomes a consciousness. Individually, it's a senses. Collectively, it's a consciousness. And when people of global relevance come together and do it as a global effort, it is global consciousness. And to become the world at large, we see change of the mindset happening. When the mindset change happens, you bring in that being alignment with yourself, your body, your breathing, and then your immediate friends and colleagues and family and all that. Then the mind influences your activities as well. So the idea of when you say do good, it's nice, but more importantly, we have to be in alignment with everything to do that good. So the do good cannot be a one-off. It has to be ingrained in a self. And what better place to get it? Doing it collectively and in dhyana. And when the astral alignments also happen and rivers align, waters align. So it is not just 2 rivers, Ganga and Yamuna aligning. When they align, and they said you get the 3rd river, Saraswati. The term Saraswati itself has the word Saras in it, the first half of it. Sarovar, where the waters itself come together. So the coming together of the waters of two mighty rivers, they're forming a big sarovar right in the middle of the two rivers. And there you bring in all these concepts. And as I said earlier too, our body is made up of 70% water. This earth is made up of 70% water. So aligning with all this, that's when you think inward, the invigoration happens. And what better way than have a fresh in snan, in frosty cold water. That's so refreshing. And then we do it together with people, and then we contemplate about ourselves, the times that we live in, the happenings around us, the knowledge that this civilization has been able to bring forth and share with us for centuries and millennia. The whole Anubhava experience is certainly invigorating then, which is why Bharat Ratna Vaman Kane, 50 years back when he wrote the Dharma Sastra, he speaks about 5 snana, starting from Jnana Snana, Nada Snana, and finally Jala Snana. So when we talk about Kumbh, we all generally in media and photography and elsewhere writing, we speak about only Jala Snana, that is taking a dubki, a dip. That is important because you need to clean your sharira, body too. Important. But that is the fifth among the hierarchical snana. So knowledge snana is one where we all collaborate, discuss knowledge. That is knowledge of how the creation happened, knowledge of what times we live in, knowledge about what is happening and what do we need to do to react to be in the right perspective. So there are 5 snanas actually. And Nada snana where you hear so much of mantras, you hear all the good things happening. So the elevatingness, the Anubhava experience is wholesome. And what better place than where everybody from the world, the who is who, the happening, those who are interested in introspection happen to be here. That is the apt time to be here. And a 45 days, that is a mandala, is even more
all right,
congregated confluence.
Dr. D.K. Hari, I would also like to take in D.K. HemaHari in the conversation. D.K. HemaHari, for the first time, what we are seeing in the history is we are seeing tradition meets technology, and technology is being seamlessly integrated in the Mahakumbh and transforming into a digital Mahakumbh. So what exactly is your take on this, the fusion of spirituality and innovation that we are seeing in Mahakumbh?
For having me on and this lovely question. See, actually, our co-panelist, Dr. Sharadji, also brought in the aspect of economy. See, if you look at it, this Kumbh, in India, we have this concept of Ma Devi, Devi Saraswati, Lakshmi, and Durga. So this Kumbh, if you see, is a very beautiful churn of all these 3 Devis. Because ultimately, in the Kumbh, you are gaining a lot of knowledge, you are relating to knowledge, the dhyan and the jnana, and it's causing a lot of this churn of Lakshmi. And this has been so always. India, every year, there is a Kumbh, a Sangam, a Pushkar happening on every river. And this has been the focus point for every yatra. Continuously in India, we have been having yatra, not only to all these tirth, but also to various other temples per se as well. So that has been the tourism, and it has always kept the economy in churn, kept industry in churn, because as people travel, they go and meet fellow people from the same discipline in the other towns. They increase the exchange information about skills, the trade. So that's caused a lot of churn in the aspect of economy as well. And Sanghe Shakti, when people join together, such large-scale events can happen only when there is all this kind of togetherness and a concerted aspect of working together. You have to work like an orchestra. And in present times, they have always been, systems have been the basic underlying aspect of every Kumbh. Otherwise, they couldn't have happened even in those days. So, whatever technology permitted of each time, you have to use to ensure that these events go off, and people have used it at those times, and in today's
All
times when
right.
you have digital
All
technology.
right, Dr. D.K. HemaHari. Unfortunately, we've run out of time for the time being, but I would like you to stay for the further telecast. We'll slip into a short break, and that's a wrap the bulletin.